Hi, thanks for tuning in. In this video, we're going to learn the rules of tennis. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start talking about the lines on the tennis court. So we've got this big line at the back here. This is called the baseline. So this is the line that you stand behind when you're serving. So obviously you've got to be fully behind the line when you're serving. If you're stepping into the court and striking the ball, that's a foul serve. So you've got to be behind the line to serve, always serving cross court into the opposite service box. Okay, so let's move up to the line here. So we've got the service line, which is this line that runs all the way along here. We've got the center line here. We've got the service box here, service box here, all the way up. So if we're playing singles, this is called the singles tram line. This line here runs all the way down. So obviously for singles, this is the boundary, and this would be the doubles tram line. So you've got this extra corridor known as the tram line for doubles that is in. So very good thing to know, obviously, for when the ball bounces. If it bounces on any part of the line, the ball is always in. So if it's on the side like this, that would be in because it's touching a part of the line. Obviously, if the ball is completely like this, then the ball would be out. Okay, so that would be in. It's touching a part of the line, if I can get that to stay still, and then that would be out because that's completely not on the line. Okay, so let's talk about the net. So the net should be 91.5 centimetres in height. You should, at your club, have a measuring stick to give you the correct height of the net. So always make sure you've got the net height correct, otherwise it makes for a pretty interesting game. Okay, so let's talk about the scoring now. So scoring is fairly simple. So we start with 1 point. If you win 1 point in a game, it would be 15. If you win 2 points, it's 30. If you win 3 points, it's 40. After 40, it's game. You always call the server score out first when you serve. So for example, if I'm serving, I win the first point, it would be 15 love to me. If I lose the next point, it would then be 15 all. If I win the next point, it would be 30-15. If I lose the next point, it would be 30 all. If I win the next point after that, it would be 40-30. If I win the point after that, it would be 40 all, which is known as deuce. From that point, you need to win 2 points in a row to win the game. So it would be advantage server or advantage returner, and then it would be game. So if you win the first point, advantage, for example, if I'm server, I win advantage server. If I lose the next point, then I go back to deuce, and we continue on that pattern. When you play a normal length set, it's up to 6 games, so you have to get 6 games first before your opponent to win the set. If it gets to 6 games all, it's called a tie break. So a tie break's a little bit different. It's like a mini couple of points to decide who's going to win or who's going to lose the set. A tie break starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. You have to get first to 7 points to win the tie break. I need to also say, when we start a point in tennis or a game, we always have to start on the right hand side over here. So we'd always start on this side and serve always from the right hand side. Also with a tie break, it's the same. You start your tie break from this side, you do serving for 1 point. So in the tie break, the server serves for 1 point, and then the next player will play for 2 points, and then the server would go and do 2 points again. So it goes in that pattern. So 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, etc. Also for a tie break, you have to swap sides at 6 points all. Sorry, what I mean is, when you played 6 points, so 6 points in total, so 4 plus 2 or 3 and 3, you have to swap sides, and you have to win by 2 clear points to win the tie break. There's also a championship tie break, which is the same format, but it's up to 10 points instead of 7 points, and these are often played in the third set at Wimbledon. or in the 5th set, because matches have been going on for too long and people get tired. So yeah, championship tie breaks are a really popular format on the tennis circuit. Okay, so just want to say, obviously when we're serving, we serve for the whole game, so it's not just 1 point and then the other person serves. Obviously that happens more in a tie break, but when you're serving for a game, you serve for the whole game, and we want to be starting from the right hand side here, serving away, and then we serve for the whole game. So let's get into a couple of let rules now. So a lot of players ask me some of the let rules, so here's some of the basics. So the first one would be if I'm serving from this side, throwing it up, hitting the ball, it's travelling all the way up to the net, and it clips the net, goes in the box like this. That would be called a let serve, so we'd replay the serve. Okay, so the second one would be if you, the other let rule for the serve, if I serve it, and again if it's travelling all the way up to the box, but clips the net, and actually bounces out in the tram line or wherever out of the boundary, that would obviously be a foul serve. You'd lose that serve. The other let rule is if you're in open play, you're rallying, and the ball, you hit the ball, it manages to clip the net, goes over the other side, then you just continue the point. Okay, obviously if it clips the net and you're playing singles and it goes off into the tram line here, that is obviously out. There are a couple of other quirky let rules. One, for example, if I was to hit the ball with my forehand, it travelled all the way over here, clipped the post and into the singles court here, that would be deemed as in, okay, because this is part of the net feature and fixtures. But if I did the same thing, hit the ball, and it went and hit this lamppost, this floodlight off of here and into the court, that would be deemed as a fault because it's a non-permanent object off of the court, so that would be a fault. Okay, so they're most of the basic let rules. There are probably some other quirky ones I've not thought about that I'll add in another video. Okay, so another rule with doubles, at any point try not to get hit by the ball. So for example, if I'm standing here and my partner's on the other side of the court returning, and the server down the other end strikes the ball but mishits it and it hits me without the ball bouncing on the floor, then that would be the point to the serving team. So really be aware, even for example, if I was standing back here at the baseline and my partner was on the other side waiting to receive, the server has shanked the serve, very unlikely from that distance, and still struck me here without the ball bouncing, then that would still be a point penalty for the receiving team, and the serving team would win the game. Okay, so to decide who's going to serve first and who's not going to serve first, you need to do a coin toss. But if you don't have a coin toss, then you're going to use the butt of your racket to spin for serve with your opponent. So if you look at the bottom of my racket, I've got a mountain high, a valley low. So I would say to my opponent, valley low, mountain high. They say mountain high. I spin it, it lands on valley low. That means I've won the decision to serve first or not. Or I can give all those decisions to my opponent and they can make a decision. But the options are basically serving first, returning first, having the sunny end, or having the non-sunny end, and there are your options. Okay, so so here are a couple of do's and don'ts that a lot of players ask me about. Some quite basic stuff, but I just want to go through it now. Okay, so when you're returning the serve, you're not allowed to stand inside the service box when you're returning the serve. So that's one golden rule. Also, you can't volley a serve, so you always have to let the serve come to you, let it bounce, whether it be in or out. You can't volley the serve, otherwise if you do, you lose the point immediately. In doubles, there's another clear rule. If I was returning on this side and my partner was standing in this box, then I'm not allowed, as a partner that's not receiving, I'm not allowed to come and take the serve and come across this way. Otherwise, again, that would be an illegal move and we would lose the point. Okay, and also for that matter, again, it goes back to the rule, you can't stand inside the service box if you're receiving or not in play with the serve. Okay, so I hope that was useful, guys. I will be doing some more videos, maybe on some more quirky rules of tennis. Hope you found it useful. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and comment below if there's any other subject matter you want me to discuss, and we'll see you in the next video.